Yeah, had a lot of fun with that. And as we said, definitive ending to Leatherface. So next
We don't need any more movies.
Leatherface. Ow. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Now, the Saul is family, which is something that comes up in later ones. Now, this movie, he puts the teeth in terror.
You know what happened?
Yeah.
Canon sold the rights to New Line, and this is where the shit starts.
Yeah, let's talk about this. So I had seen this at some point, and then when I was thinking about it, when we came up with this episode, I'm like, I don't remember a goddamn thing from 3.
There's a great trailer for it where he's like standing on this pier,
trailer
and he holds up the chainsaw and lightning hits him.
They're doing the King Arthur thing.
Yeah.
Like Excalibur.
The Lady of the Lake.
The Lady of the Lake.
Is that what's literally on the back there on one of the images at the top?
Oh,
there?
no.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, the Lady of the Lake throws him a chainsaw. Leatherface grabs it, gets struck by lightning, and then he's like,
The Shaw's family.
and I think it's Kane Hodder in the trailer.
Yes, because Kane does some of the stunts.
Yeah, we were watching this with a friend. I was watching this with a friend, and she was all like, I feel like there's 2 different people in this movie.
Totally.
And then I saw Leatherface was credited as one person, but then I saw Kane Hodder. I'm like, there we go.
Well, he did all the stunts, which is weird because you'd think that
They would just get a stuntman.
Yeah, R.A. Mihailoff is who Leatherface is.
Yeah.
You'd think that he would just do it all.
Yeah.
But
Weird.
Kane was the stunt coordinator, so everything where you see him swinging that shit or like having to fight somebody is Kane.
Yeah. All right, so let's read the back of this one. This RCA Columbia Pictures video box. The legend that became... Oh my God, they even have like the fancy writing like it's King Arthur. What's going on here?
And so it began again.
The legend that became a relentless nightmare continues. The infamous Leatherface is back in the most controversial horror movie of all time. Most forgettable horror movie.
The most middling horror movie of all time.
A pair of college students driving coast to coast are lured off the main highway and to a deserted Texas road. Here they're stalked by the menacing Leatherface, all caps, and his demented family. A bizarre cannibalistic clan with blood on their hands and a feast on their minds. Their only chance for escape is a survivalist with enough firepower to blast Leatherface to the rest of the grizzly predators to hell.
Mr. Rockmore, yeah.
A depraved shocker of intense terror from the gruesome beginning to the bloody finish. This movie sucks.
Yes.
It's by the numbers.
Yes.
Even like the twist isn't that much of a twist.
No.
Of like,
it has no bite, right?
No, not at all.
And when you come off Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which didn't get a rating, and they didn't need it, apparently, they were going to rate it X or they leave it unrated. So they left it unrated and all the stuff was...
I will say, you gave me the director's cut version of this, which was nice.
So there's a director's cut version of Leatherface, but not even all the stuff is put back.
Yeah.
But even the stuff that's added to it isn't... It's like, why did we cut this out? Like...
Yeah.
It's 1990.
Yeah.
Right? You've had how many fucking Friday the 13th movies by this time?
Yeah, it's weird.
I think we're going to hell already.
And it's New Line who's doing the Freddy movies.
Yeah.
You think they'd be... Yeah. I watched this. I was so fucking bored just because I like knew where everything was going.
Yeah.
It is interesting to see baby Viggo Mortensen in this.
Viggo is fucking great in this movie.
Yeah, I don't know where Leatherface got new family members from. It's just...
He keeps finding them. He sticks his hand into a fucking bag and pulls them out.
Also, Grandpa made it. Good for him.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't do much in this.
Is this like the extended family, like in southern Texas? Because we're in like the fucking bayou, man.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big reason why this one kind of doesn't feel right to me. Because we're not, we're in the desert in the beginning, but the whole ass end of the movie, we're in a swamp.
Yeah.
And it's like...
And then there's like a killer that's not related to the family, really. The rapist gas station guy.
French Stewart, Daniel Baldwin.
Yeah.
Alfredo. The guy that's walking around just saying motherfucker every 5 minutes.
That guy.
With one eye.
Yeah.
I'm going to peep in your fucking bathroom real quick.
So yeah, there's that whole like twist where you think Vigo's a good guy and it turns out he's a bad guy.
Chicks.
You see that coming.
Was it even really a twist though?
I
don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like that one was...
There is that cool kill he does where he has the guy upside down. They have the hammer that swings in.
We're going to talk about that in a
So
second.
yeah, like Leatherface is stalking people. There's the lady running around. It's Stretch Stretch has a 5-second cameo as a journalist, but I think it's just Caroline Williams in a wig.
It's just Caroline Williams in a wig. It's just tangentially connected, right?
Yes. It's just a mess.
I really don't like the main chick in this.
No, she's forgettable
I think
as
she's
hell.
really not good. And
Not
they could have
good
they could have put Tony Hudson, who's in it for like 5 seconds.
No.
She should have been the main chick. That would have
Yes.
been a better story. And William Butler's in it too.
Yeah.
From Ghoulies too. Dude, your tunes. He also just did the Baby Oopsie Daisy movies for Full Moon. Yeah. He's also an effects guy that's worked with Giancarlo Pichler and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ken Foree.
Ken Foree's really good in this.
Ken Foree's great.
Let me tell you something. We watched this movie, my friend and I, and we're like, oh my God, we're just talking about other things because it just could not hold our interest. Again, they're making Leatherface more of like kind of the front and center a little bit. He's like separated from the family, I think, a lot, hunting them down.
Yeah.
But he's got that golden chainsaw.
Yeah.
But he's
Oh yeah, they give him a nice chainsaw. It's like engraved and shit.
Tinker is his name, is one of the family members.
Yeah.
And he's like, technology's your friend.
Yeah.
And he's got a fucking hook hand and he makes this great chainsaw.
Oh, Tinker, who was
He made Vulture's costume.
he's the I believe he's the car salesman in Roadhouse.
Is he?
Yes, the one whose car dealership gets destroyed by the monster truck.
Okay. And then something happened to his hand and then he moved in with this family in the woods.
Yes,
There you go.
Yes.
It's all connected, Tone.
So we're bored as hell. And then, like, they do the classic, the girl's chained up and screaming and everyone's freaking out.
They nail her fucking hands to the thing, which I like.
But then the movie won me over like 15 minutes before it's done, where Ken Foree just goes, I had enough of this white piece of shit. And he just unloads the machine gun into the house. He fucking just shoots all of them. He shoots Grandpa's face off.
So
don't worry, he gets better in the next one. But he's shooting like the grandmother just gets blown away.
Yeah, okay.
They don't show a lot of that in the rated cut.
Yeah, I believe it.
You see Tinker's fucking fingers get shot off, his ear gets shot off.
So they shoot the little girl.
No, she shows up later
Yeah.
towards the finale. You see her in a window walking.
There's also
around.
an alternate ending I guess we can talk about here too that I don't know if you guys saw. But yeah, Grandpa's fucking stomach explodes.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, that whole ending, I'm like, this is awesome. Why wasn't the whole movie this? Like, it gets awesome from that point on.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
This is
There's
also
an explosion and shit.
I wish it was just
Yeah.
Ken Foree versus this family.
I would love if it was like, it starts off as a generic horror movie, and then the twist is like the guy's he's too badass for the, it's kind of like You're Next.
Yeah.
Where the girl ends up being a little too badass for the killer.
yeah.
No, I'm not saying it's like that. I would just like that for one of these movies.
Oh, sure.
Where it's like Leatherface is, oh no, Leatherface is in over its head.
They kind of do that in one later,
Yeah.
and then you can't pull the trigger on it because it's a beginning. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Ken Foree does hold his own. Like they get again, going back to this bayou. I mean, I'm sure people in Texas let us know. I'm sure there's bayous there, but
Yeah,
it just
southern-
felt out of place from someone that doesn't live there.
Near the coast.
I think of like Louisiana.
Been to Texas and Louisiana, but I haven't been all around. I'm sure there are places like it.
I guess it's gotta
not
be, right?
It's
gotta
not
be-
what you think of.
I think a swamp thing when I see this shit.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
if
other
you think of the
states have
bayou.
swamps.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
find swamps. in
Or
other
I'm
states.
expecting like a crocodile to chomp down onto him, but that doesn't happen. But they're
man.
fighting in the water, and they have like
Yeah.
actually kind of a cool idea with the chainsaws in the water, and it's like going up and down because of the way the water's moving, and then it ends up being an additional obstacle.
It's also somehow still revving.
wow.
Yeah.
You know, but it is cool because because they fight each other. The Ken Foree fucking has a knockdown drag out with Leatherface, which
Yeah.
was something cool to see, you
Yeah.
know. And that alternate ending that I was telling you guys about, he grabs Ken Foree and you see Ken Foree's fucking head get like sawed like into. K&B is on this.
Yes,
by
I
the
did
way.
notice that
Yeah.
K&B was on it. Yeah.
And then instead of like her leaving and then finding Ken Foree on the side of the road or whatever, and then they drive away and Alfredo's there and she
I
shoots him.
forgot about that.
And then she's like, "Oh yeah, there's roadkill all over Texas." The other end, this ending was her coming out of the woods after Ken Foree dies because he's fucking dead.
Yeah.
And then a cop car comes by and drives past her, and then the little girl's in the back and like laughs at her, and then it's clearly like Vigo driving the car, and they drive away, and she's just like sitting there like laughing.
So
in the
in
middle
the
of the road.
alternate version, Vigo doesn't just randomly get some gasoline spilled on him and then get it on fire?
Well, I didn't say that.
Oh, he survives the burning.
He must survive the burn. It's the same hair, dude.
And I assume Grandpa's in the truck and they're just putting his eyes back on.
Oh yeah, Grandpa's in his fucking his rocking chair. Yeah.
It is without the doubt the most forgettable, like Tony's saying, but there is one thing I want to bring up that is then just a theme in every version after this, including the remakes. This mama fucking leader type grandma character that takes over, which we didn't have in the first or second. I mean, you had Grandpa, but he was more of like,
well, Grandma was in her altar.
Well, sure,
true.
But I'm just saying, like the first two, it was just the three main dudes, the cook,
the brothers,
and the brothers and Leatherface, and then now it's like, all right, well, we did that for 2 movies rather successfully, but let's introduce the stereotypical at this point. Mama redneck leader who's in charge for every subsequent fucking sequel.
I guess because Jason's mom and Norman Bates's mom.
That is it. And they're trying to grow the family, right? Because they're like, well, Jim Seidow's dead and Chop Top is dead and Bill Moseley's not coming back for this movie. And it's just like, I don't know. They literally stick him with some other people that are supposed to be an extension of the family. And in that opening crawl, it talks about the first 2 movies. And it talks about the incidents, and it talks about W.E. Sawyer either getting the gas chamber or escaping or some shit like that. So one of these guys has to be W.E.
In theory, right.
Unless that's Leatherface, that's who they're talking about. Like, maybe. Leatherface was the only one to survive, even though he got it through the fucking gut.
I guess that's what I don't know.
I don't know.
It's confusing.
But it's also like, I think Tony even said this, that it's also or maybe you did, somebody said it, that it's also a sequel to the first one.
Yeah, it could just
be a direct sequel to the first one.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This shit's confusing. It doesn't need to be.
I feel like maybe it was made like that, where they just ignored the sequel, but maybe the crawl, someone else was in charge.
Maybe.
I also don't need an extended family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Same. Like, I like how it's centralized with this one thing. And apparently it is the Leatherface from the first movie because he has like that leg brace when he cut himself with the chainsaw.
Right.
We'll be talking about leg braces in a second.
Oh, God. Okay, yes. Let's move on to